Alright, so we're gonna react to this video that Tactical Rob just posted a couple hours ago. Apparently there's some drama with Sit going on, so we'll see. Just a preface before this, don't take my opinions too seriously. This is just my opinion, so if you get mad at my opinion, that is okay. I don't take it personally.
Some words either way, some DMs getting leaked to the timeline, certainly not the way that tends with a hope for this story to go. Grab on some your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button if you enjoyed.
Wait, shit, let me like the video, hold up. Let me like... Okay.
Actually starts with some Valorant. EDGCD, who did eventually qualify, so the Chinese region was determined by all games.
I don't know a lot about the Chinese region, so hopefully he'll catch me up to speed.
The plot armor internationally, because of course they did not make it former world champions very easily at all. And he says, if we talk about expectations, I feel like international teams are easier to play against than domestic teams.
I guess he's right because I think it depends on the team, because for like America's, G2 just shits on everybody. In the fucking in like NA season or whatever, I forgot what they call it. G2 just shits on everybody, but then when they go international, they're still good, but they just choke. I think it's the pressure, and I think same thing with EDG. That's why he's saying it's easy. Like it's easier in his region, like domestically, than outside of his region, because I don't know, I guess these teams like G2 and obviously Edward Gaming, they're just better when they're against their region. I don't know. But then there's other teams like NRG that will play the domestic region. They'll play the playoffs or whatever, not playoffs, the NA bracket, you know, their region. They'll get shit on by G2 and by these other teams. And then when they go, like what happened last year at Champions, they got shit on by G2, but when they played in the international, fuck, I'm losing my train of thought. When they played against international teams in the international tournament, they were really, really good. It's just something against these teams in like their own region. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense or not.
Surprised by that. Really, domestic teams are so exhausted to play. Every round is full of mind games. Why do I have this feeling? Because when we practice with Pacific teams, playing against them feels more head-to-head. Domestically, everyone is anti-stratting you so much.
That's true. That's true. Especially if you're at the very top. Wait, I think I misread what he said. I feel like international teams are easier to play against domestic teams. Yeah, I think I misread what he said. Because I agree with that. I agree with the statement.
Expects that to be the age 40. So we'll see. Historically, Edward have been dominant domestically and
yeah,
struggled internationally with one particularly notable exception. We'll see if that remains true when they turn up to Masters 1. Speaking of Santiago, TRX will not be there. Eliminated from the
what? I mean, I don't really know the players on DRX. But that kind of fucking sucks. Wait.
That is for sure. The Haven was a third.
Freeing. Who is Hermes? Yeah, I don't watch Pacific. I haven't watched Pacific, so I don't know.
Then was a bounce back from DRX with a dominant attacking second side. But then the breeze was, well, DRX started off pretty well on their defense. Then PaperX just too strong in the end. 13.
I'm happy for PaperX because they got this. Ooh, the new guy is tough fragging 23 and 12. Ooh, all right, 44% headshot percentage too. I haven't watched any of new PaperX without Patman, so I don't know how good they are, but they seem like they're pretty good. I mean, they do have their entire team. Sorry, I keep pausing so much. They do have literally their entire team, just -1. So.
Remarkable bracket in the Pacific so far. This is how it looks
Damn.
now. DRX are gone, Global Esports are gone, Gen G are already gone, full sense.
Damn, Gen G already out too? So Global is gone, Gen G is gone, and DRX are gone. Damn.
Talent team.
Alright.
Gone, Zeta are gone. This though is how the bracket looks, and it's certainly not the one squad that we might have expected. So tomorrow, Nong Shimanara RQ, they will play to determine the first team that qualifies.
Wait, I've no... Damn. These are two teams I feel like weren't expected to be in the upper final. I don't watch Pacific, but just like how in Americas, Furia, I mean, maybe MIBR was expected to be in the upper finals, but Furia, they were definitely not expected to be in the upper finals. I have not seen any Nogshin games, so I have no idea how good they are, but they're in the upper finals, so they seem like they're pretty good. And I know RRQ, they've been pretty underrated the past couple of years, so being in the upper final doesn't surprise me.
Santiago. The loser of that will then play the winner of DFM and T1. The loser of that will play Paper Rex. Then you know how the bracket works out from there. So we've got 5 teams remaining. It's still all to play for in this region. 3 of these 5 teams will qualify. Of course, 2 of them will not. We're going to find out over the coming days what that looks like. The other update in the Americas is on Envy. So they sit down here for 4 minutes with Coach Stunner, and he basically says nothing at all. So I don't know what happened with Envy behind the scenes. We did see some comments of Rossi on it the other day to say, well, maybe Jay and Spire was there, and then the next thing I knew, we got Rossi. Like, something obviously happens. Can it work?
Yeah.
Demon 1. Has that call got any chance really of work?
I think it's gonna work with Demon 1. I feel like the reason they didn't do very good in their most recent match is because they only literally they did it so last minute. Like, I don't agree with that, but obviously behind the scenes some shit was going on. I don't know. Was it? I don't know. It must have been really so bad that they needed to change it. And then also Demon 1's on the market, so why not? Like, he's frying right now. Why not get somebody that's frying? But they should have done it earlier, in my opinion, because I think he said in some of his interviews he only got, what, 4 hours of scrim time? Like, that's not enough, I feel like.
Aiden's gone and Ion's gone, and they're trying to put together a new roster, and what are the implications, let's say, in terms of team chemistry? Maybe not exactly ideal. Demon 1, I do think, is a quality player, but you know, you pair him with Rossi, you pair him with Kesnit. There are lots of big names, big egos in that room. Now, they did talk a little bit about Demon 1 here. Probably the only interesting thing that was actually said here is that the focus will be on making sure it's comfortable, not maybe trotting you around too much in terms of different roles. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be on the chamber. So,
We are not shy to move from things that worked before. Previous success does not mean future success. I agree with that, but then also chamber right now in the meta is fucking insane. So why not put the chamber guy on chamber? I feel like.
See what they decide to do. I'd like to see Envy.
See, like, okay, that's another thing that I disagreed with, the way that Envy got Demon 1 into the roster and then they played the game. You only had 4 hours of screen time, right? So when you put Demon 1 on the roster, you want to put him on the character he's most comfortable on. And then also, like, specifically for Pearl, what's his name, Rossi has been playing Astra the entire time. Why not leave Rossi on Astra and then put Demon 1 on chamber for Pearl specifically? Because not only did he do it with Cloud9, he slotted in and he seemed really comfortable and really good on that roster playing the chamber, but also Rossi has already been playing the smokes. You don't need that killjoy there. You know, I feel like the priority should be to make your player, especially a player as high caliber as Demon 1, make him as comfortable as possible. Especially if you only have 4 hours of scrim time. Like, I don't know, like, okay, he's good on the Astra, but he's not as good on the Astra as he is on the chamber, and that's my opinion. But I don't know.
But I'm just not so convinced how likely that really is. But we're gonna talk about this drama before we finish.
Dude, this is insane. I made a video about it earlier today on TikTok about the kyedae shit, and I got a comment that somebody like screenshotted something that Sick tweeted, and that was just, I was blown away. He's probably gonna show it in this video. I was like, what the fuck?
It's Valorant drama at the end of the day, and it involves many of the key names that we've been talking about for the last couple of years. So, Tens and kyedae, they broke up the other day. It became official on the timeline. There were lots of tweets about it. We talked about it to a certain extent at the time.
Okay, let's read this. This is in a 7-year-long relationship. There has to be more to the story. I think the PR statements are reasonable. Also, okay, wait, just keep in mind before I read this, I don't like giving this guy any kind of publicity. He needs to get help, man. And I don't know, like, I guess what he's saying is pretty crazy, so you gotta kind of like talk about it. But I don't know, like, this guy needs to get off the internet and fucking get some help. But okay, this isn't a 7-year-long relationship. There has to be more to the story. I think the PR statements are reasonable, but let's be honest, with living in LA and how much traveling they did, there is plenty of room for things to go wrong. Time will tell if someone did something. And then he replied, I believe they could have ended on good terms, but the odds are stacked against them. Having the access and money plus parties, surely there has been resentment from both parties. And the more they talk about it, I fear someone will leak something. It's too high profile now. I don't know. This is a really complicated situation, and I feel like a lot of people are giving their opinions when, let's be honest here, we all don't know the full story, and we probably won't because this is their business, and if they don't want their business out there, they don't want their business out there, right? Which is understandable. Like, if I ever get big and I have like a relationship, I'm not like, and this is something that I disagree with what they did, the way they went about their breakup. If I am in a public relationship and I break up with somebody and it was bad or good, right? I'm just gonna tweet one thing and it's gonna be like, me and so broke up. And I'm not gonna say it this harshly, but basically it's none of your business for why we broke up. We just broke up, and please, like, don't harass either party, because even if it was kyedae's fault, like, come on now. If she, okay, and then also, if a girl wants to break up with somebody, then you just let her. And same thing with the dude. If a guy wants to break up with a girl, you just let them break up with each other. If they don't want to be in that relationship anymore, why keep them in there? No matter what the reason is, right? Because the reason does matter to an extent, but really at the end of the day, it doesn't. If you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody, you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody, and you shouldn't take it too personally. There's a lot of reasons why, you know. But also, this is just my opinion.
Decided that what we need is for him to take back to the timeline. So here we go. He gave his thoughts on the relationship and said there's got to be more to the story. So like, he was kind of teasing that he maybe knew something or whatever, and like, take a lot of this stuff with a pinch of salt. I'm really discussing this for the purposes of entertainment. It's unfortunate for all the parties involved that this has become so public and so controversial and so dramatic, but it is unfortunately a consequence of when things are so high profile and public like this, and there are so many people that care for good or for bad reasons. So
yeah.
Six says, I believe that they could have ended on good terms, but the odds are pretty unlikely. And he then goes on to say,
I mean, I think they're unlikely too, because a breakup is usually just a negative thing in general. There was definitely problems, you know, but then also it's not our job to know or to try to figure out those problems.
It's not me projecting. 7 years is a long time. You can't possibly be naive enough to say that nothing went wrong. Impossible to have no extra feelings outside of what you see crafted online. He then says, oh, you're just, people are saying, oh, you're projecting, you're parasocial, whatever. These three terms are lowering everyone's IQ. This is a public platform.
Bro, this guy, he's typing about a matter like this like he's in Valorant. What does he mean, lowering everyone's IQ? The accent is insane.
Relationship. These two, the two are keeping engaging with it, which is not wrong, right? Like kyedae and Tens, they responded to that tweet. Responding, Tens given some responses to other tweets. Sorry that I have an opinion. Anyway, he then does this 20-second Chamber Ace 1v4. So that was his next tweet. So there is still some relevant Valorant stuff actually going on here. But then there was a bit of drama. So you guys may have seen there was some speculation around the involvement of this guy like John Choi, who used to be dating. You know what? Let's just finish off with a little one.
I'm pretty sure they've talked about the John Choi. Like, that's just all people fucking speculating. Like, that didn't actually happen, right?
guy back into the tweet because I'm sick. Anyway, this John Choi guy used to be dating Daph.
Yeah, see? Oh shit, I got an ad. Well.
Wait, were you even listening? You haven't taken a single note.
Anyways, okay. Yeah, look, even Daph is coming out, which I don't know who Daph is, but I know that she dated John Choi. Yeah. Nothing to do with this shit.
And people were speculating that Daph and kyedae had a falling out because of that. So Tens obviously gave his response to it the other day. Daph then says, "Please don't use me to fuel this false narrative. Me and kyedae's falling out had nothing to do with John. It was over an unrelated issue. They've been good friends. I've got no issue with that. I don't like this heavy mischaracterization. I'm no longer involved in their lives. John is not a homewrecker. Kyedae never did anything malicious. That is all." So that's
all right. Like that should be taken like that, and everybody should just move on.
Decided that he wanted to keep talking about it. So John then did this.
Oh my god, dude.
Because people were talking about
All right.
frog hat being kind of similar to kyedae's frog hat. He then does this version in the red instead. And again, I actually think that Sick is probably right on this one. That some of the characters involved.
Let's be honest and say they low-key... Okay, wait. I thought I read this. Let's be honest and say they low-key might like the attention, and that's okay. Nobody is forced to sit and think about a reply on the internet, especially when it won't ever affect your personal life. If anything, it will just fuel the fire, as we have seen. I mean, yeah.
The intention, the implications, from all of that they have. And, Sick says, if anything, these type of comments from John, from, kyedae and Tens and everything are only just fueling the fire. And, the fire was further fueled by this comment. So Daph then responded, clearly fed up of all of this drama.
Damn. Bro, why is she... Okay. This guy... you don't need to be giving this guy anymore, alright? He's just gonna keep arguing with you, man. Come on now. Okay, and also, just like I said earlier, this guy nobody should be talking to this guy. When he responds to a tweet, people are going to, but people just need to ignore his ass. Like, he doesn't need, like I said before, he doesn't need to be on the internet.
But of course, that only sets Sick off, right? So then he says, very logical and in-depth response, don't make me put your friend on blast, Daph, because I easily can. Who or what exactly are you trying to defend here? And then Daph says, go ahead, it's not like it's a secret. Most people distance from you as a result of your erratic, unsocial behavior these past few years. I don't talk to these people, but that doesn't mean I don't find it wrong to instigate the insane mob further. Your words and weight as an ex-teammate. Delusional people are sourcing your suspicions, founding on nothing to connect unrelated.
Damn, they're getting into it on the timeline. Holy shit.
Sick then says, okay, I will go ahead and spill the beans. kyedae will be very grateful for you. Give me 15 minutes, and etc. etc. So then, Sick decides to do this tweet. Daph decided to attack me personally over her own engagement baiting on the timeline. So here it is. kyedae told me multiple times in multiple ways that she wanted to experiment with other men, and that was quite some...
I don't know. Okay. You also have to take this with a grain of salt. Like, you can't believe everything that this guy says. He obviously has mental issues, and he seems a little bit better now, but like that clip, that fucking him basically kind of being, a P word, or I don't think he's done any actions on it, but the way he was talking, like his thought process, his brain is not like, there's something wrong with it. And he obviously has had mental issues in the past. I don't know, he might be telling the truth, but then also, I don't know. I just like, I think you have to take everything that this guy says with a grain of salt, and that's just my opinion.
Told people all kinds of things about me in the past. I'm tired of these women thinking they've got immunity to criticism. I know how evil they can be, and it's right to call them out, should be an apostrophe. I will provide more information later, he says. So,
he's fucking, like an English teacher.
Look, whatever you want to say, Daph and kyedae no longer they used to be friends, no longer friends. Daph baits him into this, and then Sick's popping off on the timeline. So who's at fault for all this? What's even really true about it?
This isn't Daph's fault. Like, this guy's okay. If he had this in the back pocket, why is he trying to blame it on Daft for the reason he's coming out about it? Like, why didn't he just come out about it before? Like, because obviously he said he's trying to protect kyedae, which is kind of weird, like, at least to me.
It's certainly entertaining, I've got to say. And,
it is very entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. Wait.
Kyedae literally sat down with me in Brazil one-on-one at a restaurant. She admitted to this when she snaked me out to an ex-girlfriend. But I promise you, she wanted to cheat for years. That is a fact. So, then he doubles down. And then, of course, Daft responds because, the other sex drama in recent...
I mean, you told me multiple times in the past you enjoyed sexting underage. Damn, dude, that's just fucking messed up. That was last year, so I can only imagine what you acted on. Yeah.
Was about this video that you guys may have seen, which is like 17 minutes long. I think it's still up there on YouTube.
Yeah.
Where interactions and relationships.
Oh shit, I just spilled this shit.
This obviously was doing the rounds for understandable reasons a little while ago.
Yeah, like what? I don't know why this guy, okay, even if he is like thinking like that and he does think that, you're an idiot for coming online and posting a video and just fucking telling everybody about it. Like, you need to be aware and then go and get fucking help.
Stuff in there, and there was lots of commentary on it. Daft then decides, right, well, you know what, let's throw that haymaker in. You told me multiple times in the past you enjoyed sexting underage young girls. That was last year, so I can only imagine what you acted on. And then Six says, well, now we're lying. I've never had that conversation with you ever. Shameless the links that women will go to try and cover for each other.
This guy's delusional.
Because the lines won't work. And then Daft says, no, we had some conversations, etc. You're trying to gaslight me, it's not true. And
he's just denying everything. Damn. Good luck, little diddler. Damn.
So,
what?
Daft's definitely hitting the rage bait button right here. And then, obviously, basically, Daft's point is like, look, well, you've provided no proof about your comments about kyedae, so why would I need to provide proof about the comments that I'm suggesting about you? That was kind of the implication here anyway. So they go back and forth, they keep going back and forth. Daft is like, where's the beans? I want you to spill the beans. And then he decided, okay, sure, let's actually spill the beans, because he put a couple of DMs on the timeline here. So he responds and says, this is the sit down I had with her that I'm referring to, by the way. We talked about many personal things on both ends.
Wait, did he go back and screenshot shit of him and kyedae? This is what?
But I know what type of person she can be behind the camera, and clearly someone has to say something.
Wait. I hope you understand that after the conversation with you that I had at lunch, I talked to Tyson. Wait, I'm pretty sure I saw these like a long ass time ago. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. Yes. Wait, no, this is different. And when it came to the consensus, why the fuck did I read it like that? To talk to Cars, I have no idea who this person is. I feel fucking unemployed as shit right now, by the way. This was during the time that everything was already aired on Twitter. What are they talking about? Say what you want, yes. I called her, asking her side of the story. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Anyway, he then puts these on the timeline. This is a long time ago now.
Yeah.
2023. And she's talking about this conversation that they had, and how Tyson's related to all this. And then she's referring to this like ex-girlfriend type of situation. And then she goes on to say, "You're not a good person. You tried cheating on her, and you said the N-word wrong."
What? I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
So I'm not really sure this makes Sick look any better, to be honest. But especially when we're leaking DMs publicly, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a little bit great, especially when he makes this big claim that kyedae wanted to like cheat on Tens multiple times. It's really the crux of why. Like, this is the comment that's made this whole thing blow up, right?
Yeah.
After all the conversations over the last couple of days, but presumably that was not something discussed over messages. If it was, I imagine Sick would have tweeted it. But he's saying that they discussed that type of stuff in person. Anyway, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's just very dramatic because, as we've said, Sick, former teammate of Tens on that Sentinels team back in the day, and then all this is blowing up, and hopefully this is it. But I have a feeling there might still be a little bit more of this story to come. So we'll see if we ever talk about it again. Hopefully not. But it was just too much today. We had to get into some of the drama because it's probably.
Yeah, dude, that is just that's fucking crazy. Good video though. Go check him out. I was even wondering. That's what I was thinking. How the hell is this guy in the thumbnail? WestJet about to drop a whole